looks like I am here. I'm at Raijin. There is 0.77% of people in Raijin in the player base, right? And it just goes down from here, like significantly down from here. This should probably be like 0.1% by now, maybe even 0.2, 0.3. Cause this chart is kind of old. It's like almost a month old now, right? 12 days until it's a month old. But if this is still relatively accurate, that means I am ahead of some odd like 91% of the player base, 92% of the player base. I'm in the top 8%. No, yeah, I think I'm doing that wrong. I'm in the top 2% of players. There we go. I don't know how to fucking do math. Wow, good thing I'm a fighting game player, not a mathematician. Yeah. And I kind of want to talk about my experiences getting here as someone who's not a Tekken player. I'm not inherently a Tekken player. I played a little bit of 7, not very seriously, but I did play the game. I played Leroy when he was super buffed, so I don't think that counts. I was definitely carried. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold y'all. But it gave me a small amount of experience with the genre. I do play other 3D fighters, Virtua Fighter, and Soul Calibur mainly. I played a little bit of DOF as well. No, DOF? That's DNF mixed with DOA. A little bit of DOA, but mostly Soul Calibur and Virtua Fighter. Soul Calibur being the most prominent of the games that I played that's 3D. I think it's the most prominent game I played in general, right? I even played a lot of Bloody Roar when I was younger too, but the system for Bloody Roar is very different from the other 3D fighters because you sidestep with an actual legitimate button, L or R, or L1, R1 in the case of the PlayStation. So I want to pick my main and kind of just give a small overview of all the things I did to get to the rank I'm at, right? This might be helpful for you. You might be able to take some of these concepts and apply them over to your own character. You might not be able to at all. Or you might be able to take my exact character and apply these concepts for you, right? Maybe you play Raven and you're looking for things to do in neutral. And I'm gonna kind of boil down my favorite moves, the moves I used the most in neutral when it came to Raven to make it to Raijin, to make it to blue ranks. We can just say to make it to blue ranks, right? I think this guide will probably even work to make it to something like, purple rank, right? Raven tutorial, basically. Just a really small Raven tutorial, right? So Raven has a lot of good neutral tools, I think. I want to be honest. I'm trying to party with Raven. I am a very party-heavy player. I've been a party-heavy player since I started playing fighting games. I like pressing buttons. Buttons are fucking fun. Movement is also kind of cool, but generally I'm not trying to use movement to evade things. I'm trying to use movement to create another opening, right? So I'll do like a quick sidestep into like a launch, or a quick back step into like a forward pull, right? So I want to talk about, first, my neutral tools. I have a few key lows, a few key mids, and a couple highs. The highs that I used a lot were jab. I think jab, one jab especially, is so important. If you have a long-reaching one jab, or a one jab that moves you kind of forward like that, I think that you should probably be using it a lot. +1 on block, +8 on hit for a lot of characters. It might be +6 in your character's case, +7. And it just slows down people's offense a lot. It also stops people from using big jumping lunging buttons like this one at you. Oops. Right? Because what happens is that they try to use something like this. What ends up happening is instead you float them out of the air with the jab, and if you're fast enough, you can full combo out there, right? If we set Lars to orbital here. Does he have his orbital as one of the moveset? I don't feel like recording. I use it without recording. I don't feel like recording. Let me see if I can select from mood list. No! Damn, I did it again. That's actually perfect. Got it. Okay. Right, if you're fast enough, I was making sure it's set. You can float it. Right, it's not a lot of damage, but it conditions people to stop pressing. I don't know if I can float it with that. Right, something like that. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. You just need to basically slow down people's big offense that they're going to be using, which is really nice. That's why I like one jab. I also like one jab because of the fact that it's plus, right? It makes people want to duck. It's hard to react though in game. You're doing the jab not as a reaction. You're doing the jab because it's part of your main kit. You're not doing the jab as a reaction. You're generally just trying to use the jab to slow down people's offense. And if you happen to get a float off of it, that's when it gets that extra inherent advantage and that juiciness that comes along with it, right? Another thing I used a lot, that's a high, is back one. Back one is a plus 10 on hit. And I think it's like plus 4 or plus 5 on block. It's pretty fucking good. This move is very juicy. If you have a, yeah, plus 7. If you have a move this juicy, and it does chip damage. If you have a move this juicy, please fucking use it in neutral, right? I think it's I-16, right? So that means you can set it up after a lot of your mids and highs on block, right? On hit, look at that. This is plus 8, which means setting up into this is pretty feasible because now they don't have something that they can press. This is a frame trap if they're not using a low to kind of poke out that has inherent advantages. And ninjutsu is too good? I think so. And those are like the two key highs I used. I used a lot of jab and a lot of back one. And back one leads into mix-up, so we'll get into later. Now, the mids I used, I really like 3-3. I think 3-3 is really solid. It's a 14 frame mid, it's got a good amount of range, and it's mid-high jailing. If they block the first hit, they cannot duck. I'll show you. If they block the first hit, they cannot duck the second. They don't duck until the last hit, which is 3-3-4. You can use that as a counter hit fishing tool, which is pretty good, but generally you just want to use 3-3, right? It's going to be pretty good on block. It's -8, which means you're safe. It's a really long reaching mid. You can actually use it to like snipe people once they get out of the air with like the jumps and stuff. But generally you're just looking to use it to mid check people, right? That is one of the mids I like the most, but the mid I like the most. The mid I like the most is down forward 1. This is -2 on block, 14 frames, so same speed. A little bit stubbier, but it actually tracks to both sides. So let me show you guys. So we're going to set him to stand block. We're going to get him to sidestep left. We're going to get him to sidestep right. It tracks to both sides. And it also has a follow-up in down 1-4. This move is -14 on block, as all the Shadow Clone moves are, but it's really nice if you catch your opponent trying to step, you can go for the full string, right? I guess one other high that I used a lot was this, but I use this generally for punishment. It's -3 on block, which is still pretty good. So 4-1, another high to think about. I like 4-1 there. I'll go ahead and throw that in there. So 3 highs, jab, back 1, and 4-1. Anyways, we'll get back onto the mid. So we've showed you 2. We showed you the down 1, which is really good. Lets you, force people into bad situations that are trying to step and that want to duck under your like good highs, right? If they're like, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to deal with this. Now they're trying to step or duck under this and they get hit. And I think on hit this is like +8. Yeah, +8. So if they now they're super fucked because now this is an I8. So like are you mashing a low? If you're not, get hit. And if you're mashing a low, get hit with this again, idiot. Like what the fuck are you doing? Let me change them back to block all. Another mid. I think this is probably like his most crutch mid that you can use if you're very bad. This one right here. This is a forward 2-3. This is -9 on block, 15 frames, super long reaching. Fucking safe on block. I don't know if you can sidestep it. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you can sidestep it. Yeah, alright, man. Yeah, alright, man. Super fucking a busted move. Really insanely strong move. On hit, it's a guaranteed combo. It's not like counter hit only. And it leads into one of his mix-up stenches if you hold down. If you hold down or press 3+4, you'll go into Soul Zone, which we'll get into in a little bit. But these are the things that I use probably the most. I think there might be one other mid that I haven't mentioned. Oh yeah, there's one other mid. One other mid I haven't mentioned, which is back 1. I mean, down back 2. Down back 2 is really solid, right? I like this move a lot. -4 puts you into back turn where you can start to party. And it has follow-ups, right? You have the down back 1, you have the down back 2-1, and then 2-1-1. -14, but it like catches people checking. This is a counter hit combo, so if they're trying to swing into the last 2 hits, so block all and then set them to try to punish with something, you'll see that they get hit. Combos because of the fact they tried to hit it is a counter hit state, which is pretty good. And those are the mids that I really like. I think that those are probably his strongest mids the most simple ones that you can use in neutral, not in stance, not in back turn. But we'll talk about those here separately. They're not anything super crazy. I think I'll show the few lows, and then I'll say you could end the guide there after the few lows if you want to try to transfer this over to your own character, right? I'm talking about ways to play small. Oh, there is one other mid. Yeah, this mid's fucking good. This mid is very good, right? I use it a lot on people's wake up. Nice. I use it a lot on people's wake up. It like forces bad habits out of people. Makes them want to step, and then when they're trying to step, boom, then you can start using this to condition their steps. Once again, -2. This is extremely slow, but it does chip damage and it's +4. And it leaves you in a situation where you can generally get a 3-3. Just like that. This is back 3. Now, for the lows. Let me show the lows first on hit, and then I'll show the lows on block. The lows that I like the most with Raven are down 3. Very good. 0 on hit, which means after you can almost always either do standing 1, or 1-2. Or you can do dig jab, right? Those are the best things to do there. You could also like just read like a mad person and do back 1+2. I like to do that move a lot. I'm a fucking idiot. Don't be like me. Another really good low that Raven has is down 4. Down 4 is -2, 21 frames. Really, really fucking long. Look at this fucking low, dude. And if you hold down, you actually stay in crouch, which means you can start your full crouch mix, which is good because that's where I have to talk about another 2 of the lows. So in neutral, I like down 3 and down 4. Hold down generally. I don't do down 4 and then not hold down. Because it lets you stay in full crouch, and then from full crouch, he's got full crouch down 4-3, which is pretty solid. I think it's like +2 on hit, and puts you in a back turn. And then it's -9 on block. So we'll talk about the blocks after. And then the last low I like is Hell Sweep, because it sets up for so many different situations, right? From Hell Sweep, you go into Soul Zone, you can white hole front turn, you can white hole back turn. Oops, I forgot to do it. How do you white hole back turn? There we go. I think you hold back. There we go. You can white hole back turn. And then on block, all of these lows are either safe or very, very slightly punishable, right? Except for the biggest low, which is the last low. So this, -11, right? You're gonna take a while standing forward, no big deal. You're standing still. So you're not gonna get launched or anything, which is nice. This low, I think this is -13. Yeah, -13. I don't think there's any characters that are gonna launch you for this. It's also really long reaching. So, a lot of times you're pretty good to just throw this move out. This is the chunkiest one. The reason why is because it's -9 and puts you in back turn. So depending on what they try to use, I wonder if this is gonna work. Let me see if I can get him to do it. Like from punishment list. And I set him to while standing 4. I don't think I can set him to while standing 4, which is really annoying. That's annoying. I can't set him to while standing 4. Crouch status moves. Oh, he ducks first. Yeah, that's annoying. So if they do a while standing 4 here, which I can't show easily because I'm fucking lazy, this will beat while standing 4, his parry, which is really cool. So it means that a lot of times that low is basically safe. The only thing that they're going to be able to do in that low is dig jab. Dig jab is always going to catch this low, because your parry starts up in 2 frames, not 1. So if they just dig jab and you're in a range where you can be dig jabbed, like say you're out here, my bad. You're out here and you, what the fuck? Say you're out here and you do it, you might not get dig jabbed by some characters. But if you're closer up, you will have to eat the dig jab. I still think it's a really solid low. This low is launch punishable, but it leads to such a good situation that I really like it, right? -23, you can see that big stagger on it, but I still think it's really solid. Just something you're gonna mix in a lot, but you shouldn't be using as like your main low, right? If you're gonna think about a quick main low, it should be down 3 and down forward and full crouch down forward 3, right? These are the ones that I want to say you should use the most. And one of them is really good because it comes from crouch, so if you're using dig jab and you just hold down, right? And then also off down 4. Oops, my bad. Off down 4, you can stay in crouch and then use either of these lows, which is really nice. So, if these pertain to your character, right? If you're not playing Raven, then you could just end the guide here and look for like a few key mids, a few key lows, and like a plus on block high and jab. And you might be able to transfer that over to your character pretty well. But if you're not and you want to see the rest of the Raven guide, we're gonna keep going. I don't feel bad if you leave the video now because you're not playing Raven, so you're just like, oh, okay, the cheapies, cool, I can find those with my character. Before I get on to whip punishment, which is the last thing I want to show, because whip punishment with Raven is actually really weird. I'm not whip punishing with launchers generally, and I don't think you need to make it to higher ranks, to make it to like blue and purple, stuff like that. So I guess I'll do that first. So for whip punishment, generally, I actually really like this move. I really like this to whip punish people, which is a 4-3-2. We've already talked about it in key moves, so there's no reason not to just use it for whip punishment, because when you do, you can go into Soul Zone after and start up party time. So we'll get into Soul Zone later. And then forward 4. This move's really good for whip punishing because after you can get a guaranteed forward 4-2. Right? You're not getting a huge chunk of damage, but you're getting a knockdown plus 4, and then you can also just like start wave dashing it at them. The last thing I generally use for whip punishment, once again another key move, is 3-3 or down forward 2-3. Those are the things I use for whip punishment. Down forward 2-3, you just need a little baby combo of it. You don't need anything crazy. Just take your basic damage. You don't need anything crazy. I'll show you guys the combos I use to make it to make it a purple rank. I didn't even have optimals. My optimals did not exist. I did not start learning optimals until after I made it here to Fujin. Now, those are the two whip punish tools I use the most when it comes to launchers. This and this, right? Those are the things I whip punish with. Now we can go into back turn and Soul Zone. So Soul Zone is 3+4, or you can get into Soul Zone off certain stances. You can get into Soul Zone off of 1-2 down. You can get into Soul Zone off back turn forward 4-1 down, or 3+4. And you can get into it automatically off of back 1. You cannot cancel this. This will always give you Soul Zone, but it's always plus 10 on hit, which is really good. Plus 7 on block. From Soul Zone, your main mix-up is low, which is plus 2 on hit, and then if they try to press something, boom, you get a counter hit launch off of while standing 2. Oops, I did that wrong. Right, if they try to press there, then they get counter hit launched. That move is safe on block also, the while standing 2. Oh, I did it backwards. Yeah, see? And then if you counter hit with the low specifically, you also get a full combo. And then the mid is the other big confirming thing. The mid is actually really cool because it's safe. The mid is Soul Zone 2. So Soul Zone 2 is -9 on block. It's a heat engager, as you see. And if you use it in heat, you can heat dash and get a full combo. Really, really nice. In Soul Zone, he also has 3-2, which you're going to be using for combos. It's generally used for combos. It's also another mid you can use that will put you into back turn. But back turn is not something that I really think people need to think about with Raven super early on. The only things that I think early in back turn you need to worry about, which I guess I'll talk about after I finish Soul Zone. I basically have, because I almost never use this in Soul Zone. Almost never use it. That is Soul Zone 1-4. It's like low-key hit confirmable, so that's pretty good. But it's just like an I-14 high. It only really does something if you're super plus and going to Soul Zone. It like forces people to have to gas, and if they're trying to mash on it, they get hit. But generally, if they're trying to mash on it, they also would just get hit by this anyway. The low is actually the only option in Soul Zone that's punishable. So let me show you guys. All the Soul Zone options. Yeah, Soul Zone 1+2, which is a plus on block high. I'm sorry, a 0 on block high, so basically plus. That does chip damage and tracks. So if people want to try to step your Soul Zone 2, boom. Soul Zone 2 is -9 and puts you into heat, and is also a heat engager / heat dash option that you can use to full combo. Soul Zone 3 -4 puts you into back turn, and lets you party if you're a party time back turn player. And then Soul Zone 4, which is -16 up close, so launchable, but further away you are, the least you can make it. I think -11 is the safest you can make it. See, -12 there. Oops. Wow, mass. I think from back here, boom, should be -13. I think right here. -11. There we go. So depending on the range, you can make it up to -11. So it's significantly safer. Pretty good. But it's also going to be the option that people are going to be scouting out from this range. Luckily, Soul Zone 2 will also hit. Isn't any safer. Doesn't have like more active frames or anything. Right? So the ranges that Soul Zone 2 will hit, those are generally the ranges that your Soul Zone 4 becomes the scariest. I can quickly talk about back turn, and then I'll talk about combos. So from back turn, He's got back turn 1-2 crouch dash, which is pretty good. I really like using this. Back turn 1-4. This is going to be like your counter hit tool if someone's like trying to press on you when you're in back turn. It's an I-8 in back turn, and it's a natural combo. It also combos on counter hit with back turn 2-1. I'm sorry, with back 2-1 or back 2-2. Back 2-2 will put you into counter hit. I mean, will put you into back turn. And if they get hit by the second hit of that, not the first, on counter hit, it'll be +8 and you'll be able to do this. Promise, but it's not something that I usually use. Like, you can consider this a key high if you're trying to string people up, because you could also just do, this, right? And then it's a mix up. In back turn, if you're not using the Hell Sweep, which is big, does a lot of damage, super fancy, I'm sorry, the Snake Edge. Generally in back turn, what you want to think about is back turn 4, back turn forward 3. Pretty good move. It's a mid 13 frames and +3 on hit, and on counter hit, it leads to a forward 4-2. So if they're trying to mash on you, boom, you can do that. If they're another thing to stop people from mashing on you is back turn Power Crush, also leads to forward 4-2, pretty good. I really like back turn forward 2-3, because there's a mix with forward 2-4 in back turn. This is not jailing, so they can duck it, and if they try to duck it, then they get hit by this. It's +14, which means you can get your down forward 1-4, which is really good. One of the key mids we already talked about earlier. And I think the last move that I really like in back turn, that I think more people should use, is forward 4-1. Forward 4-1 is really good in back turn. Does he have a back turn into rage quit? Yeah, probably this. That. When people get hit by that, they get pissed. Oh, I actually did it wrong. Wow, I suck. Yeah, people hate getting hit by that shit. That might be it. It's like, it's pretty seeable, so that's why people hate getting hit by it. Is this. It's a quick low high. The first hit, I believe, is, -9 on block. Yeah, -9 on block, so safe low, right? If they like dick jab you there, then, you have to hold the beats. If you're far enough away, a lot of times dick jab won't hit. So if they try to use while standing 4 here, you can get them with the back turn Power Crush or the back turn parry. La 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 la. And then if you get it on hit, it leads into soul. It's even safe with both hits, but you just stay ducking, just like a Leroy string or something. But it leads into soul zone by holding down or pressing 3+4 after. So on hit, it'd be +9 in the mix, I think, or maybe it's let me see. Maybe it's +8 in the mix. Yeah. Pretty good. I think those are the things that I use the most in back turn, soul zone, and front turn. For like very simple combos, if you ever get a launch, if you get your launch off of your orbital, which is probably the easiest thing to get launches with Raven, because it like jumps over some lows. It has a really late airborne state because of how slow it is. It's I-29 startup, so pretty seeable. Most people aren't going to step it, but they'll just block it. It'll be -9 if they block it, so it's still safe. What I did in the beginning was this. Oops, that didn't... Hello? I'm sure that hits. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's hitting him from an awkward angle. And what that combo is, are you excited about Monk as a Crusader Man? I might try him. I need to buy the character pass. So, what you should do here, is just make sure that you're getting a tornado after your launch. But I used, when I first started, I did, up 4-3, down back 2-1, down back 2-1 soul zone, so you can hold down to get the soul zone here, and then 3-2, and then quarter circle forward, 1-2. And we'll show you the combo in real time again. Right, it's not a lot of damage, but it's the damage you get that's safe, easy, don't have to think about anything hard here. If you get another launch, like a punish, if you get something with this, then what I was originally doing was knee, jab, back 2-1, back 2-4-2? Yeah. So 4-4-3, jab. Same thing. those are the very simple combos I used to make it all the way to Raijin. I hadn't done anything more advanced than that. I wasn't trying to do anything hard. If you get a 4-4-3 combo, which I don't, but this is it. This is what I do now. 70 damage. But this is minus 14, so I really don't use it often unless I see them whiff something. But generally, because I like to be safe and I think playing smaller is good, I use this whiff punish. Significantly less damage, but still a whiff punish, still gets a knockdown. Or this, which gives you party time. Small Raven guide, nothing crazy. I'm not like some super professional godlike player, but I am someone who's made it out of ranks that people are struggling in, which is good. So if this helped you at all, comment down below if it helped you. If you know any Raven players, if you got any friends who play Raven and they're looking for a way to get out of Gary or a way to get out of, Brawler, Assailant, tell them to hit me up, come watch this YouTube video, tell them to leave a like on it, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hopefully getting to 1,000 subscribers here soon. This has been Beanie Thuggish with like a very small Raven guide for people who are stuck in lower ranks, stuck under something like Mighty Ruler and looking for a little help. Hopefully it helped you. Signing out and saying peace.